I heard she was dangerous, like completely unpredictable or whatever. He's just being difficult. He's just a normal teenager and he needs to quit acting out. Anxiety's a complete cop-out. Okay, the weather's super bad. Go get some pills, you psycho. Why don't you identify as a butch lesbian? It's completely the same thing. Holy, that hairstyle is really, really gay. Do the voices tell you to do that? What are they gonna tell you to do next? Murder a family? Get off your ass. Depression's an excuse. So you've got some issues, and I think you've come to the right place if you want to learn how to help somebody else or you want to learn how to help yourself. Excuse me, I've got some issues.
Welcome to the first episode of We've Got Some Issues. So at first glance, what exactly do you think about me? Because I guarantee you, what you see is nothing at all compared to what you're going to get. I'm a person that's part of a very small percentage of someone that's considered very stigmatized due to mental illness. I can't openly say the illness that I have at my job due to stigma. A lot of my friends don't necessarily know what I'm experiencing. I try to be open about it, but I'm sure a lot of you guys understand the struggles that I'm going through right now. And I wanted to help dispel that, so here I am lifting my mask off on a camera to be able to help you guys get to where you need to be. I'm also part of the LGBT spectrum. That's another thing that I deal with. And I've heard countless things said to me due to things that I identify and I experience. And I personally don't think that's fair in any way, shape, or form. I think people are who they are, and it's none of anybody else's business. Here's some things you probably wouldn't know about me based on a first glance. My moods can be really unstable, kind of like a glass of water that's being hit by a cat running through your room. I'm very limited as to what hours that I can perform and what duties I have at my job. I require a lot of time to myself to iron out my thoughts and regain my composure, and sometimes when nothing is wrong at all, I still feel completely wrong. And I don't really know why. And I'm sure a lot of you guys experience that as well. Sometimes I go for days and days without any sleep, and sometimes I stare into space for hours without feeling any sort of time passing. And when people talk to me, I often don't understand what they're saying to me. Even though I hear the words clearly, I need to ask them to repeat themselves a few times. My thoughts are so disorganized that it takes me a few minutes, and that's kind of frustrating, especially in a workplace. People tend to think you're dumb. Not the case. So, I have a script in front of me right now, so I'm able to keep on track a little bit better. I will admit I've repeated this video a few times, but, as I work on the videos, I will have a better time with it. Squirrel. Also, these are nowhere near the worst things that I've experienced by any means. What I'm doing is slowly revealing the illness that I have to you guys to dispel stigma, because I guarantee you, by looking at me, you would have no idea, which is the case with a lot of you, I'm sure. And it's not fair to judge someone based on appearance or based on what their personality looks like at a first glance. Every single person on this earth is different. Even I can be a bigot sometimes, and I'd like to educate myself and help educate everybody else around there, so it's going to be a learning process for me as well. I've lost a lot of friends and family due to stigma. For a long time, people I knew walked on eggshells around me because they were afraid that that I would say the wrong thing or snap and do a 180. I'm medication resistant, and I've been on a total of 6 over the last 3 years, giving me horrible side effects, which I'll explain to you guys at a later date. Every time somebody asks me what's going on with me, if they see any sort of symptoms, which happens sometimes, I tell them honestly, and their opinion of me is forever changed, and a lot of the time it's not in a good way, just because there's now a word associated with me, and for some reason, that changes who I am. And I don't think that's fair. I want to show people that there's a future, that recovery is an option. I am in a period of recovery. I haven't been on medication in a year. I got permission to wean off from my doctor and am living a pretty normal day-to-day life now. I have a part-time job and I'm able to financially take care of myself. And I also have a relationship and 3 cats and a dog. So I'm pretty busy. But it's definitely really great to be here, and I want to help you guys a little bit with how to get there and what worked for me. And I just like to share my experiences with people and listen to other people's experiences. I believe that there's certain stepping stones that need to be in place to achieve it, and I will also do a video on that for you guys later on down the line. It's been worth every difficulty that I've experienced. I don't regret anything that I've been through. In fact, it's made me more open-minded and more of a well-rounded person, and I'm now in the position to help others, which is great for me. I'm not saying I don't still deal with my illness. If you know me personally, you'll be laughing at this, because I certainly do. I've managed to achieve somewhat of a normal life, and I believe it's possible for a lot of people. I'm what's called a peer support worker in Canada, though I'm not working in the field right now. I personally don't believe I'm at the level to be able to do that, and I will get there. one day at a time. What the peer support movement is basically people with experience with addiction, mental health, LGBT, all sorts of issues that are present in forefront right now. They're helping people that are currently in the experience that may not be on the same footing that people like us are right now. We're in recovery. We help other people achieve recovery. I've seen so much stigma in that job placement that it makes my heart break over and over and over, and I see it every day at work. I see it with my friends, and I don't believe that it's something that still should be around today. I believe all that it is a lack of education and a lack of knowledge, and I'll admit myself, I don't have the knowledge that I should on everything, and that's why I'm here. So with this channel, I'd really like to be able to break the stigma and make people feel a little bit less alone. So how am I going to do that? I'm going to present a wide variety of illnesses and issues and present them just like I would present facts. It's going to be a learning experience for me, and if I get something wrong, I have an email of which you can tell me and correct me. I would love that. I'm going to reach out to people suffering as well as those in recovery and ask for different perspectives on their experiences and their knowledge and things that worked for them. I'm going to do episodes about art people create, so your poetry, music, anything like that, dance, whatever helps you get through what you get through. And I'm going to present it on here to show that there are ways that you can cope with your illness that make beautiful things come out of darkness. I strongly believe that's a huge thing that has helped me get to where I am. So, I want to make sure that nobody feels alone, and I'm going to need your help doing that. I want to show people that their addictions, their preferences, their identity, and their illnesses aren't something that they need to be afraid of and aren't something that they should be ashamed of. You are not what you experience. What you experience is a part of your life, but it by no means defines who you are by a long shot. You are not where you've been. You are who you are exactly in this moment, and you may be a different person in 10 minutes, and that's okay. Most importantly, I'm going to provide information about resources that you can access if you are in need of help in any way. We all have our issues, every single one of us, and I don't believe that anyone should be made to feel small or alone in a big world filled with so many different people. There are bad people, but there are really good people out there too. For my first episode, I'm aiming to have 1 or 2 done during the week depending on how I'm feeling and what my work schedule looks like. I work in retail, so there's different supply and demand during different seasons. I'm going to be covering anxiety in my first episode, so please send me your first-hand experiences, your favorite quotes, tell me what it's like for you, and you can do so by sending an email to wevegotsomeissues@gmail.com. I'm really looking forward to hearing from you. I'm going to be having guests on the show when possible, people that I know, to put a human face on the issues. And if you guys want to answer any questions, or if you have any questions, please send them my way as well. I may not be able to address them, but I will find somebody that can for you. I'd love to get some discussions going. After all, the key to breaking stigma is to talk about it, right? So let's start talking. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you like what you're seeing and hearing so far. The key to this video is reaching as many people as possible, so please share. Thank you for watching, everybody, and please take care.